Hey guys, I wanted to share how I wrote this piece called Tango. This piece has been in my mind for a while, and over Christmas break, I had my computer, but I didn't have a piano. And usually, I compose by playing something, and then whenever I find a sound that I like, I'll try to write it down. But I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna go for it and see if I can write by clicking on the mouse. So I wrote this piece called Tango. It's the first of hopefully many pieces inspired by Fur Elise, and more specifically inspired by my desire to give students an alternative to Fur Elise. It seems like the students who hear that piece and fall in love with it, and it is a great piece, make no mistake, but students want to play it before they have the technique to execute everything, and before they have the reading skills to understand all the 30-second notes, and before they probably have the tenacity to stick with a piece of that scope. And a lot of students, it seems, kind of burn out, or they'll just do some simplified arrangement of the beginning part, and they won't even play the F major. And I feel like, what? The F major is a really good part of the piece. Let's not leave it out, people. But I was thinking about for release and giving students an introduction to some of the techniques. So like an etude, teaching the things of the piece, maybe the octave, or maybe teaching like repeated notes. And if you want to do one finger and move around, or the changing fingers, or if you want to do the 30-second notes perhaps, or maybe even just the broken chords. Using different elements from that piece to give students an introduction so that maybe after they play a few of them, they'd be ready for the whole for release rather than, oh, I just want to play this. So this tango piece is inspired by the opening motive, and it uses the same notes but changes the rhythm. Wait for it. Okay, and what else does it do? Oh yeah, that thing which goes on for almost far too long. And then it has some octave jumping, not exactly the same because it's not on E, but it's on A this time, and it has the wah, because I feel like it's just fun to do. No better reason than that. It's just fun. I was inspired by the tango feel because I I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger do it, and in a movie. And I've been playing music from Carmen, the opera, for some of my singers, so that those kind of sounds were in my head. So I have a tango pattern, and if the student feels like moving their hands far enough, they could go up to the C. And I have the F major chord in the left hand because I like the flat 6. So did Rachmaninoff, so I'm in good company. I like the flat 6, and I feel like it's a good foil to the A minor, both in terms of quality of chord and also in terms of just the effect that the chord has when it's played. So, combine those together, and I thought to myself, what can I do with this right hand? Because the sound fades. So I thought maybe I can slur it somewhere. And I don't know, it's not my most favorite moment, but I couldn't think of anything better, and I didn't necessarily want to rest. And I wasn't sure that I wanted just an A, because I felt like the energy of the tango needs some other impulse in the melodic hand. But I don't know, there's only F's and C's in this measure, and I feel like there could be something added to spice it up. So maybe I'll think of an idea later and put it in as like an ossia, an optional version. I have the G natural instead of a G sharp because I don't want this. It's too much like a Middle Eastern stereotype. And I'm not doing Arabian Nights, although that would be cool. That's later. So I have this A natural minor scale, and again, I was sort of channeling Rachmaninoff because he'll have these melodies where it sounds like it's major, but then it'll use the flat 7th and the flat 6th on its way to the 5th of the scale. Like, the second concerto. Oh, come on. Okay, there's regular 6 and 7. La, ti, and then lay. No. There it is. Yeah, it moves chromatically. Okay? Second concerto. So I have this, and my wife said she likes it, and she has good taste in music. So it must be good taste, right? This kind of structure, using a melody that repeats and a little scale up into it, I kind of stole that from Martha Meir. She had this tango that my student was playing, and I said, I like that, so I'm going to use those ideas. And aside from the melodic statement, I wanted to use some other element from the piece. So I have this repeated trill, and I think I counted the number of iterations correctly. And I thought, I'll use that motive again because that's what students really want to play, right? So I use it again. By doing it again, it's emphasized. By doing it again, I eat up a couple more seconds of time and I move my way toward the end of a phrase. And then I wanted to get somewhere away from just this, but to use the same, I don't know, not feel, but the same elements. So I used the same interval and the same rhythm, but starting on a different key. And then I wanted the balancing octaves, so I did them on A instead of on E. And I thought, since this is sort of Spanish sounding, let me do a little Spanish turn and a bounce at the end. Those are the ideas that I used for tango. And I hope to come up with some other pieces in this for release type suite, maybe inspired by my family, or inspired by soundtrack music that I like, or inspired by, I don't know, comments. So leave your comments if you have anything nice to say, and I'll see you next time.